Happening, everybody? It's Jeff Light the Jr. with the Black Boss channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, this story is pretty crazy to me and would have been a major game changer if it would have came to fruition. Be sure to hit the notification bell as well. So, a man by the name of, I don't want to butcher this, but I'm probably am Shervin Pishavera. I don't know. I can't say his name. But he's an angel investor. He's a man invested in a bunch of companies like Uber and all kinds of stuff, heavily out in the Southern California area. He came out today and he said that Kobe Bryant, before his untimely passing back in January of 2020, was set to leave Nike and to start his own sneaker company by the name of Mamba. And he and Mr. Shervin came together with some designs. Now I'm going to share my screen so we can read these tweets together by Mr. Shervin that he put out today. And this just makes me, I mean, I was already sad about the passing of Kobe. Kobe's my favorite athlete, one of my favorite athletes of all time, my favorite basketball player ever. But this is Mr. Shervin. So let's read his tweets. Let's go to the first tweet. So it says, I met with Kobe Bryant in late December 2019. Kobe wasn't happy with Nike and was going to leave it in 2020. Kobe was going to start Mamba, a shoe company owned by players. He passed away weeks later. What he was about to do in business was going to eclipse his sports career, which I wholeheartedly believe. And this is part two of the tweet. He says, these were the designs my team did to show him that day for an independent Mamba shoe company. Here's the calendar details. There were witnesses to the meeting. Kobe's plans like Gina Ford, who manages Usain Bolt. So here's a picture he's saying of Kobe from that day. I'm guessing that's Miss Gina Ford or a part of his team. This was the meeting in Mr. Shervin's calendar. The breakfast with Kobe, it says, at 9:30 in Newport Beach. This was supposed to be the prototype, the first design, the first prototype of the Mamba shoe that Kobe reportedly was going to put out at some point in 2020, or if he would have been alive to do so. So this is another picture of the prototype. So Mr. Shervin is coming with a lot of receipts, well, as people would say, to his meeting with Kobe. I'm interested in what made Mr. Shervin want to put this out now. We're coming up on a year of Kobe being gone. I guess this is right at a year of the meeting he had with Kobe, because he said in December 2019. Obviously, we're at the end of December 2020, so this is right around a year of that meeting that allegedly took place, that he's saying took place, and he's showing that he has receipts that it actually happened. I mean, we don't. All of this is speculation. All of this is hearsay. We don't really know. He's saying he has witnesses, but once again, we don't know what took place. But what's interesting about this is that we know what happened in 2020. Unfortunately, Kobe wasn't here to see it, but we know the fact that we lived through it. And that was what I referenced in several videos as the Black Awakening. We saw that Black people, because of the pandemic or because of whatever reason, Black people put themselves to the forefront. Black people realized how much impact we have on this country. Black people started to put themselves first. Right, we still have some Negro naysayers or some Black people that are actually white supremacists. So we get all of that, but a lot of Black people started to wake up. A lot of Black people started to take the approach of powernomics. A lot of Black people got into powernomics. Ice Cube, Dr. Boy start pushing it very heavy. We start seeing Dr. Clark Anderson everywhere. We saw Kanye West take the aspects of powernomics. So we saw that throughout 2020. And we continue to see it, and it's never going away, because once you get something like this in your brain, once you read this, I promise you it changes your life. Once you get something, the aspects of putting Black first, being B1 all day, every day, it never leaves you. It's like Black excellence is something that'll just never leave you. You'll never want to go back. It's like seeing the light. It's like, oh my God, I can never go back to that. And so we saw all of that take place in 2020, and now we're seeing it to continue forward. We see Master P trying to buy Reebok, and just to see that Kobe, the what if in this aspect. What if Kobe was able to do what it sounds like he wanted to do? It sounds like he wanted to break off from Nike and do his own thing. Now, there was another tweet I forgot to share from Mr. Shervin. I want to show it. It says this would have changed the game. I want to see. I want to show you because there was a reason. So he tells the reason why. So someone asked. I'm gonna share my screen again. Someone asked like, why did Kobe want to leave Nike? You know what I'm saying? And because obviously you're gonna get those people like, why in the hell? I mean, he should need a reason to leave Nike. Like the man made Nike $1 billion or probably more. But he says he wasn't happy with Nike's marketing and promotion commitment to the Kobe's line, and the sales of his shoes were anemic, and he blamed Nike. He retained tight control because he didn't trust Nike's judgment and design. So once again, we see black people. Nike is ran by Phil Knight, is owned by Phil Knight, and it has a bunch of white people running it, running the show, whatever. And they're not doing what the athlete, the person that's out there shooting all the jump shots is Kobe. The person who put his blood, sweat, and tears in the NBA for 20 years was Kobe. It wasn't Phil Knight. It wasn't any designer up at Nike. It wasn't any marketing person up at Nike. But of course, when Kobe has his what he wants to be done, and he's been with Nike for over 10 years at the time, maybe closer to 15 years at the time, and they're not doing what he wants to do. That's what happens when you don't have ownership. Kobe didn't have ownership of the Kobe line. So what he said? He says, screw it. I'm going to go make my own thing. I'm going to go make my own thing, and that way I have complete, total control of what I do. And that's what black people are starting to realize, how important ownership is. How important ownership is. It took Kobe till he was 40, it seems like, to really galvanize and really understand it, at least in the sneaker ring. And we know Kobe's got books. Kobe's got everything. He had over $2 billion in assets when he passed away. So we know he know a little bit about ownership. He had gyms. He had everything. But other folks, this is you. This is, forget Kobe at this point. It's about you and about elevating yourself and owning what you do. And I think Kobe, what Master P is doing currently with Reebok, and this story coming out about Kobe is going to spark the mind to do something else different, right? It's going to spark that next great NBA player, that next great mastermind, someone who is extremely talented, to not give all their leverage to Nike, to not give all their leverage to Adidas, to go out and do their own thing, to go out and do what LeVar Ball has been trying to do for the last 5 years. And I think sometimes it takes for other folks to see somebody as big as Kobe. LeVar Ball is not is pennies compared to Kobe. But to see that that's what Kobe was going to do, it's going to spark the next generation. Our Black awakening that took place in 2020, and something as small as, and this is just a concept, and we don't even know if all of this is true, right? But the mere fact that this story is out there, somebody is watching this story, somebody is reading up about this story from Mr. Shervin, and somebody is going to take this and run with it and be like, okay, I get it. Kobe was going to do that. He was going to break away and do his own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. And that's how we continue to build our community. I love it. I love hearing this story about Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. It just makes me that much more sad that he wasn't able to live and see that dream come to fruition. But he has nothing to be sad about, or his family, because he definitely lived his life to the fullest. And that would have just been another feather in his cap, because he was an amazing person that did a lot of amazing work. That's all I got, guys. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at JLightsy7. I post a lot of content on there as well. Hit me up and hit the notification bell and the thumbs up button before you leave. I'll see you guys next time.